At home nowhere and everywhere at home. I feel lonely because of the language barrier, and the last time I went up there I felt more like a tourist. Those are some of the 16 sentences written on this pier in Rijeka. The sentences that speak about migration, for love, work, or simply a different life. What are those sentences doing here, and who are the people that express them? What we are seeing here is an art project called Common Places. It was made in 2016 as a part of European Capital of Culture. At that time, the city holding this title was San Sebastián, and that's the city where the author of this art came from. Mario Paniego was spending time in Rijeka and created this memorable project that tells a lot about Rijeka being a port of diversity and a haven for migrants and nomads. The 16 people whose sentences are written here are the ones who came to Rijeka from other parts of the world, or the ones that left Rijeka behind and settled down somewhere else. As Mario said, the idea behind the project is migration, and that every one of us can be or was a migrant in one point of their life. It's about tolerance of the situation and understanding that we are all the same, hence the name Common Places, speaking not about actual places, but about emotions.
So, vine aquí por mi pareja, mi hijo ha nacido aquí.
أنا جئت إلى هذا البلد للدراسة.
As you can see, Rijeka is really home to people of different backgrounds. And in 2016, they all decided to have their thoughts written here on Mololongo.
Kad sam stigla, nisam imala puno prijatelja I bilo mi je teško naviknuti se na moj novi dom.
And now in 2021, where are they? Are they still here? Are they happy about their decision? Are they still experiencing the same emotions and fears? Well, that's what I tried to find out.
So my name is Jorge and I live in Rijeka for the last 10 years, where I moved from London, where I met my partner at the time, who is the mother of my son today, and that is probably the main reason why I'm here.
Ja sam došao tu 71. sada smo mi 2021. Ravnih 50 godina je prošlo od kad sam došao na studije ovdje. I sada radim ovdje i u isto vrijeme sam prevodilac, jedini prevodilac za arapski jezik u Rijeci.
Ovdje živim od 2014. Radim u Udruzi Prostor Plus, organiziramo različite festivale i druga kulturna događanja, pjevam u zboru i to me jako veseli.
Now in 2021, I am a science writer, I'm a high school teacher, I'm a college teacher, I am a runner, I am a cook, I'm a baker, I'm a friend, I'm a wife. My husband is the same person I was dating 5 years ago. We now live together in Brooklyn, in New York City, and I have recently become a permanent resident of the United States.
I also asked them what's the difference between them in 2016 and 5 years later.
Big difference? I wouldn't say. I was a much more angry person. I think I was at the time of frustration professionally, emotionally, personally, all levels. I am moving more into acceptance, so I feel more comfortable. This actually started last week, so it's recent. Let's see next week.
Moj život od 2016. do sada ništa, samo na bolje se išlo, život još bolje se išlo. Znači, vrijeme da idem u penzije, ali sam takav da ne mogu ići u penziju, radim i zadovoljan sam kad imam puno posla i sebi vidim u toj posao, ne i prevožen ne više. Puno ljudi upoznaš, puno dobrih ljudi upoznaš, imaš puno prijatelji, jako više nema mjesta za prijatelji, i previše ima, ali uvijek neko dobar, dobrodošao.
Pa Tajana iz 2016. kada je razmišljala o Tajani iz 2014. koja je tada došla ovdje, je zapravo rekla ovo što tu piše, a to je da nije imala puno prijatelja i da je bilo teško naviknuti se ovdje živjeti. 7 godina kasnije ja imam jako puno jako lijepih, prekrasnih prijatelja i prijateljica, divne cimere i cimerice, tako da je Tajana saživjela na neki način sa Rijekom.
Hard to put into words. I'm not quite sure I can fully capture everything that's happened to me since and everything that's changed for me since, nor am I sure I can capture everything that has stayed the same. On the outside, I'm not that different. On the inside, I think I've gone through a pretty thorough remodel over the last few years. Went from being a student to teaching student, went from having aspirations to actually having a career. Still learning a lot, but it does feel like the 5 years has seen me grow.
And what they would tell themselves in 2016 if they could.
I would tell myself not to take it so personal. I was very angry and reacting to situations in my life in a very aggressive way, which is understandable considering the amount of pressure I had from many kinds. Then I guess it's natural to react like you do. We are all panicking, we are afraid. The difference will be probably about the emotion, the involvement, the aggressiveness and all that, because it's pointless.
Mislim, vreme, nažalost, ne može se vratiti nazad. Bio sam mlađi 5 godina i isto onda bilo lijepo. I ja mogu reći samo dobro. Nisam imao nikakav problem od onda do sada i prije. Znači, ni prije, ni kasnije nije bio problem.
Tajni iz 2016. a i Tajni iz 2014. a i svim Tajnama zapravo prije, a i poslije. Rekla bi istu stvar, a to je da samo nastavi raditi ono što joj se sviđa, jer je to najbolji, čini mi se, način koji sam do sad iznašla, a da živim ispunjen život.
Mm-hmm.
If I could tell anything to myself in 2016, I'm not sure I'd honestly want to tell her anything. She had to go through everything she went through to get where I am today. Maybe I tell her to be more kind to herself. Maybe some of the pain, some of the long nights, some of the stress, maybe it wasn't so necessary. Maybe just spare her some of the more painful parts. Tell her that, in the end, we'll probably be fine.
And finally, is this your last stop or you're gonna continue migrating?
I don't plan to go anywhere because of my son, and I want to see him grow up and be safe. So I guess we've got another 10 years or so. Well, he's 8 now. It depends how quick this goes. It's personal. Let's say if he's ready in 7 years, I'm still able to live anywhere. I always was, and I did. Then again, it's gonna be the same for my son one day. Who knows what he's gonna do? He's gonna travel. I don't have a route here. My route is my son. I don't have a route even in Spain. Let's move. Research, yeah.
Ne, više sam umoran, to je kao bar kad dođe na suho. Ja sam već došao na suho, šta sam tražio i sumnjam da ću nikamo otići. Tu sam osnovao familija, imam, zgradio sam kuće, tako i dom, ne, komplet. I prijateljstvo, imam dosta prijatelji koji su rođeni ovdje. Ja sam tu na jednom mjestu, po kraju rijeka sam, grobnik se zove, specifično mjesto, dobri ljudi, dobro su me prihvatili i jako sam zadovoljan.
Ja bih rekla da nema zadnje postaje. Od kad sam došla u Rijeku, ja sam zapravo počela puno više migrirati, jer je nekako se pokazalo to kao jedna dosta zanimljiva, nekad teška, ali u svakom slučaju zanimljiva i obogaćujuća aktivnost. Tako da mislim da svakako ću nastaviti skakutat simo tamo, a gdje ću točno sve živjet, tko to zna?
After moving so much my whole life, I have always craved stability, and this is the first year I've gotten to live with the person I love, and I want a little pause for us. I want to give us a chance to settle in and recenter and stop living in that combination of everywhere and nowhere. This can be our everywhere now, and we'll build it together.
I also talked to Mario, the author of this incredible project. I asked him if he was still in touch with the people whose stories he shared, the reflection on the project, and his own experience of being a migrant.
Every year I used to talk to some of the participants of this project. We used to make a video call, either to text some messages. To make this video, it has been a great excuse to contact some other participants. I haven't been in touch with them for the last years. Going back to the creation of this project, I feel very happy and very proud of being able to develop it, and especially because it allows me to know the history of Rijeka, such an interesting city, and the history of many different persons with so different backgrounds who were so kind to talk to me their experience, the migrant experience. I feel like a migrant, and I don't think no one could say that he's not migrant. I mean, we all move to get a better job or to get better life conditions. Even if we move just from one house to other house, we could consider migrants. And if we just look back in our families or our history, we suddenly realize that we are a big mixture of many persons who have been moved before us.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really enjoyed making it, so I hope you enjoyed watching it too. And remember, we are all migrants to a certain extent, with stories to tell. And this was me telling you their story. If you want to know more about mine, subscribe to my channel.
My son. That's why I'm here. That's why I haven't left yet.
Na kraju želim spomenuti da sam navijač nogometni klub Rijeka i rodilji pretplatnik i ekipa moja koja ide sa mnom utakmica na Super Ligi.
Fiorello, New York, 1906. He's one of the people I couldn't reach.
Forza Fiume se zove se, ekipa moja se zove Forza Fiume.
All the material for 5 seasons, at least 5 seasons of my life.
Sad ne mogu.
Hala.